A young graduate spends years for preparing for a government job. After clearing multiple stages of exam, he finds it out exam paper has leaked and ultimately recruitment process has been cancelled. At the same time, news headlines celebrate India's growing economy and GDP figure. But for the youth, the question remains, if the economy is growing, why it is harder to find a job? According to recent employment data, the nationwide employment rate has been declined from 77.2% in 2016 and 17 to 36.7% by 2025 and 2026. Although absolute number of employed Indians increased roughly from 405 millions to 438 millions, but increase in the employed number was not sufficient to keep pace with the growing working age population. So why is this happening? Experts point out to structural mismatch in India's domestic labor market. Economic growth has been driven mainly by capital-intensive industry, automation and technology, high productivity sector which required specialized skills. However, these sectors generates fewer jobs compared to the labor-intensive sectors. As a result, employment growth has lagged behind the GDP growth. The challenges is even more visible when we look at the gender-based employment rate. The employment rate among men contracted from 70% to 64.8%. Women employment rate, which is already low, declined from 11.8% to 9.4%. These indicate that economic growth has not led to employment opportunity either for men or women. The biggest concern remains youth unemployment. Many young Indians are better educated than previous generation, more aspirational and actively seeking employment. But for them, opportunities are limited. Even among graduate, employment rate declined from 51% to 40%. These suggest that higher education alone is no longer guaranteeing employment in India. So what needs to change? Experts suggest several policies need to be prioritized for keeping the pace between economic growth and employment rate. Government should promote labor-intensive industries such as footwear, textile, which can generate large-scale employment. Skill development programs should match the industry's demand and emerging technology. Safer workplace childcare support can increase the female workforce participation rate. India's challenge is no longer just economic growth, rather it is job creation with economic growth. For many of young Indians, the real measure of progress is not just the GDP figure, but the stable and meaningful employment. This is News Decoded. Thanks for watching.